This is a story about a boy named Leo who lived in a small town in Japan. Leo was a very lazy boy who always wanted to rest. He thought the busy people around him were foolish for always working. His father was a hard-working man who hated wasting time. He often worried about Leo because his laziness and avoidance of work made him sick. Leo was gaining weight, lost his appetite, and couldn't sleep. He always felt tired. One day, Leo's father told his mother that he would take Leo to visit an old friend. He asked her to pack some clothes and food for the trip. Leo didn't like the idea of meeting his father's friend, but when he heard that the friend would give him a valuable gift, he quickly agreed to go. After walking a long distance, they reached a green and lush area far from the town. There was a small house made of reeds, with a big yard full of vegetables and fruit trees. Leo liked this place very much. Leo's father happily greeted his friend Ken, and they enjoyed tea while talking. Leo looked at the fruit trees with eager eyes. Soon, his father asked to leave and said goodbye to Leo. Now, only Ken and Leo were left. "Come here, boy," Ken called Leo and stood him in front of a mirror. "This is you. Look at yourself carefully. Fat, with sunken, dark-ringed eyes, and a dull complexion." "My weight has increased a bit," Leo said, embarrassed. "Not a bit, a lot," Ken replied seriously. "Now wash these dishes." "I'm your guest," Leo immediately said. "A guest? No, not at all. I consider you part of the family. Now, don't delay." Reluctantly, Leo started washing the dishes. After that, Ken gave him more tasks. For dinner, Leo picked vegetables from the garden, washed them, and cut them for Ken to cook. By the end of the day, Leo was exhausted and wished he could run away, but he had no choice. Before bed, Ken asked him to bring in a bench from outside. Leo quietly dragged the bench inside. He sat next to Ken, and while looking at the moon through the window, fell asleep. At sunrise, Ken woke him up. "Go wash your face and bring some warm milk." "Do I have to get my own breakfast too?" "I want to sleep more," Leo muttered, still sleepy. He hadn't slept so well in months. "Look at how bright and beautiful the day is with the sun shining everywhere," Ken said, tapping Leo's cheek. "All right, I'm getting up." Leo knew Ken wouldn't give up. Weeks passed like this. Now, Leo woke up early without Ken telling him, made breakfast, cleaned the house, prepared fresh vegetable salad and fruit juice for lunch, washed the dishes, and made tea. His whole day was filled with work. Despite all the work, Leo didn't feel tired. He felt more energetic and active than before. He was getting good sleep, eating fresh fruits and vegetables, and breathing in the open green air. Months later, when Leo's father came to take him home, he was happy to see the change in his son. Leo said goodbye to Ken and picked up his belongings to leave. He wondered why Ken hadn't given him the promised valuable gift yet. At that moment, Ken called him and said, "Do you know you are taking a very valuable gift with you today?" "No, I have nothing but my belongings," Leo replied, surprised. Ken smiled. "Come here," he said, standing Leo in front of the mirror again. "This is you. Look at yourself carefully." Leo's dull complexion had brightened. The dark circles were gone and his eyes sparkled. All the fat had melted away, and he looked healthy. Health is the most valuable thing. Don't forget the lessons you learned here. Remember, if you have health, you have the world. Without health and fitness, everything else is dull. Leo smiled happily, thanked Ken, and started his journey back home.